Welcome back to Let's Make a Game. In this video, I would like to talk about images. Specifically, I would like to talk about some ways that we can alter images to make them more useful for our games. The program that I use for this is called GIMP. You can download GIMP from its website, gimp.org, GIMP.org. I will put that link in the description. Once you go there, you'll see a link to download. You click that and it seems to detect what sort of computer you're using automatically and give you a link to download the version for that operating system. So in this case, the Apple version. Once you've downloaded and set up the program and you want to run it, you get a brief opening screen and then you get this introduction window which says, do you want to create a new image or open an existing image? Usually, of course, you'll be doing one of those two things. I don't want to do either of those right now, so I'll just choose close. So I'm going to show you how to get an image into GIMP so that you can work with it, and then in future videos I'll show you some of the more common things that I do to make an image useful. So let's say that I am looking for a character portrait for my game, and I've found this picture and determined that it suits what I want my game to look like. And I've determined that it isn't a copyrighted picture that potentially could get me into trouble. I mean, the chance of your little Twine game being noticed by a copyright owner is probably pretty small. So, it's up to you how much you care about that. But I tend to use public domain images. In this particular case, I'm using a website that is entirely public domain pictures. So I know that that's not an issue. Now, I could save this picture and then load it in GIMP, but there's a slightly quicker way, which I'm going to show you, and that is you right click on the picture, you choose copy image, and I think that's the same for both Macs and Windows PCs. It might be slightly different if you're using a system like Linux or something. But having done that, you get back into GIMP and then you go edit and paste, and the picture is now in GIMP and you can make changes to it. Now, you can see just from the display that GIMP is a very complicated program. It's a very full-featured program. I'm not going to attempt to give you a comprehensive guide. I'm just going to give you a couple of things that I do that are useful. But before I go, I will tell you something that is very important, and that is normally you're not going to want to save your images. So you can go to File and Save or Save As, but normally you won't want to do that because those options give you the option to save a picture as an XCF file. And an XCF file is GIMP's specific file system. You can't actually use XCF files in Twine games. So that's useful if you have a project that you're sort of halfway through and you're going to be working with later. But if you want to get something that you can use in Twine, normally you will go File and Export or Export As. And that gives you the option to save things as .pngs or .jpegs if you prefer to use JPEGs. And those are formats that you can use in Twine. So in the next video, I'll show you how to crop this picture and change the size so that it's the size we want. But I will leave it there for now. I hope that was useful or interesting to at least some of you, and I hope you would tune in next time.